I just seen a newscast, not sure which one it was, that said that someone is going to go talk to a school about the Confederate flags and their thoughts. They should have said what kind of school they were going to. Why? Specifically because if they're going to an elementary school and they're going to talk about the thoughts, then that indicates how many things? Brainwashing. Well, okay, let's not say brainwashing. Let's say teaching, because it's at a school. Yet, even though a school these days is kind of how you can create a robot / somebody that's like everybody else, molds them to saying if they're going to an elementary school, why are you going to an elementary school when it's young persons and they don't have a background necessarily in being able to defend their ideas at all? At all. Because isn't at an elementary school you're kind of taught to do something and that's that? At least go to a high school, college, go to a college level and go to a place where they debate these things or philosophically do these things. At minimal, go to a high school where they somewhat have thoughts about these things. Yet at the same time, if you're going to go to an Arizona high school or any kind of school or idea, why don't you go ahead and do a lot of research and go to the area of the North America, U.S., and find out their perspectives at the same time, so that the government can actually understand what the people's viewpoint are, so that they can understand how ridiculous this whole debate is about taking away somebody's option of honoring and respecting what their viewpoints are. Because I so assure you, if the Confederate flag in any way, shape, and form gets disembarred or taken off of the American thing, that there are going to be laws passed to say that you cannot represent the Confederate flag in any way, shape, or form. So that semi-correlates to teaching youngers the history of the U.S. Because the Confederate flag does represent, sure, it could semi-represent slavery in that time period. Yet it's representing that time period. At the same time, the Confederate flag is representing the standard of what it means to stand up, to fight for your rights. Kind of what the forefathers have done with the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights. Yet, you're trying to take that away, that option, instead of figuring out how to not poison as many people by growing food year-round inside a building, where that building could have just be a self-propelled, powered by itself, where it uses pressure, water pressure, and solar. Or using where, maybe not using necessarily hydroponics, not hydroponics, The windmill under the water, where it just always uses the water, I'm not sure what that's called, but the tides, it uses the tide power, and it's always going, and it powers, it's like the power of 30 windmills to that of just that one thing. Now, in the middle of the U.S., that wouldn't be practical, because by the time that power got there, it wouldn't be any anymore, because it would dissolve itself from just running across that line. At the same time, it would be more practical to give that power to somebody else that's along that line. Those are just kind of my thoughts at this moment about the Confederate flag and this discussion, conversation, and anything about the Confederate flag. Because in all actuality, it's kind of a crucial part of American history. And denying that, you're denying the whole U.S. You're denying the Bill of Rights, and you're denying the Declaration of Independence. Sure, I might be taking it to somewhat of an extreme by saying the Bill of Rights and Declaration of Independence, yet how much of a difference is it when the Confederate flag represented the history and the determination and the willingness to break away from those that wanted to control you in a governmental form, a hierarchy form, a monarchy form, a kingship, in any way. That's pretty much what I have to say. If somebody has to say something to me about this video, let me hear it. Because the last person that actually commented, they never responded to what I said. They didn't want an actual discussion. Because part of me posting these videos on here, sure, it's to be able to express myself, to put my thoughts somewhere, so that I can stop thinking about them, so I can focus on other things at the same time, to convey that I want a discussion with anybody. I want a discussion of a standard that actually is of the forefathers in their construct of the Bill of Rights and the Declaration of Independence. That's the kind of discussion I want.